Hello guys, welcome back to Backyard Videos. So guys, today it is Monday, October 27th, 2025. As you can see, the Halloween Party 2025 has officially begun and will be going all the way to the 31st, ending on November 1st respectively. My god, it feels like almost every single Backyard Halloween Party for the last 3 to 4 years has started on October 27th. We had this in 2022, 2023, and 2025. The only exception being 2024 on October 25th. Can we please break this tradition next year? Anyway, here's the logo. I literally just made it right before I recorded. As you can see, it actually combines elements from the pumpkins, skeletons, and bats that we saw in last year's party. Oh, and the spiderwebs too. So it's 4 different color combinations in this party. Let's be honest, is actually really cool. And you'll see what I mean throughout the party. So why not just get started with the workshop? First of all though, it is currently 4:01 p.m. This party took an hour to make, by the way. But like I said, as you can see, the entire workshop is all decorated. Specifically in the pumpkin decorations, which are super cool. And yes, there's the pumpkin from 2 episodes ago. Speaking of pumpkins, there are more of them down here, which is super cool. There's even the pumpkin lanterns over here on both ends, and pumpkins next to the logo. And even the pumpkin lights from the previous year. Well, they weren't here the previous year. They were in the shed. They are the same ones from the previous year. We also got the pumpkin witch, pumpkin window decorations, this other pumpkin. If that wasn't already enough, all of the pumpkin garland on each of the posts. That also includes right here, and right here as well. Wow, that was a lot to go through for just one room. Let's finally move on. Next up is the shed. You might actually already notice that this is all skeleton themed, judging by the decorations. Yes, even that. And yes, there's the skeleton lights, which were actually in the exact same spot that the pumpkin lights were the previous year. What a coincidence. We also have the blue skeleton right there from the construction, alongside the purple skeleton also from the construction, but that was in the tripod area. You may also notice the skeleton garland on top, and there's also a skeleton right down there, and you might also notice more skeleton garland over here, which is also super cool. And that's basically it for the entire room. Dang, this was a massive room. Not as much compared to in there, though. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that pumpkin decoration from the Celebration of Fall is over there. I actually didn't mention that one. This next one's going to be interesting because you see we have the spider webs and the spider decorations up here on this tree. But that's not the only spider decorations. On this tree, we have more spider decorations, such as another spider web and the red spider up there. On the third and final tree, we have, once again, the Happy Halloween sign from the previous year. Okay, well, I think that was actually in the tripod area the previous year. But we also have another red spider decoration just like over there. That was, of course, assuming I could actually find a place for it, which I thankfully did. That's probably not going to stick up there long. But yes, you may have realized all 3 of these trees host the spider decoration. Yeah, I knew that wasn't going to stick long. I guess there works. Anyway, the tripod area is next. You may notice we have the bat lights from the previous year. Okay, well, they were in the workshop the previous year. I'm just saying that these are the same bat lights that we saw last time. Oh, frick, I forgot to mention, all 3 of these lights actually still work, by the way. Same applies with these, and these, if you're curious. I forgot to mention those earlier when we were in those rooms. But anyway, the tripod area itself. God, that was blurry. Anyway, because you see the bat lights here, it's pretty obvious that this is the bat theme room. Super cool, right? We got the orange bat right there and the purple one right over there. You may also realize that we have bat themed garland here as well, which is super, super cool. It really makes this room feel completely bat themed, which was the idea I had going for. Anyway, this place is honestly really cool. And honestly, I really like the way that this actually came out. Seriously, It may not be as much compared to the previous year, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that the room looks nice. And we might actually want to hurry up. I see thunder clouds. And I'm hearing thunder, so yeah. Anyway, pond view is next. This is all about chains. Or at least most of it in that case. We also have this little light bulb thing from previous years, which is super cool. But again, the main idea behind this room is specifically the chains. Might notice we have a black chain right here, a gray chain right here, and a white chain right down here. And the goal was to actually lock the gate so you can't escape, to make it feel like you're trapped in this scary backyard. Or at least that's what I think it should be. We also have the classic trick or treat sign just for the heck of it. So, that's cool. Anyway, the field is our next area. As you might notice, actually, it actually takes elements from more so the 2022 Halloween party, decoration-wise. Because these decorations all come from the 2022 party, except for the green string and the Frankenstein little craft thing that I made around 4 years ago. Anyway, I think it's a very cool room, and it's a nice little showcase of what that party was 3 years ago. Again, in terms of its decorations that were new at the time. I think it came out quite nice. Anyway, we got 2 more rooms, or areas in that case. That sun is still shining. Anyway, next place is the tree next to the garden. This, as you might actually realize, is the ghost room. Yep, we made a full-on ghost room. Super cool. As you can see, we have the ghost, and we have the boo sign on here, so it's like it's saying boo. And we also have the witch hat down here also saying boo. Basically, it's the ghost themed room if you haven't managed to already notice, which is super cool. Anyway, this is very cool, and it's really cool how I arranged all these decorations to a specific room, having multiple scary themes in one. That's what I like about this party. But anyway, this room might be the only one with the least amount of decoration out of all the others. But that's okay though, considering this was really the only ghost related stuff that I had. And I didn't buy any more for some reason. That's okay, I think we already had enough anyway. Alright, we got one more room. Side yard is the final area. You might actually realize, though, that this is actually the candle room. You may realize all these candles come from previous years, which is actually where they came from. But over here, we have the Happy Halloween, Witches, Beware, Spooky, Boo, Haunted, or Creepy and Haunted. Almost said those last 2 out of order. We also have the classic welcome sign. Super cool, right? We also have the witch, which was broken apart in last year's party. However, I still was able to find a way to do it, despite it being broken apart. Basically, one side is basically a variety of decorations, that being here at the gates. Other side of the area being all the candles, which makes a lot of sense. So it's basically a combination between 2 different themes. Candles, and then just a variety of decorations over there. I think that's all really cool. And actually, that's it for the party. Actually, perfect timing, because I hear a lot of thunder. Meaning I think it's about to rain. So I just finished at the right timing. Still hope you guys like all these rooms, though. They all look very cool. And yes, I promise, we're still going to be doing something with this pumpkin, I promise. Anyway, that is it for this episode of Back Your Videos. What do you guys think of the Halloween Party 2025? There are going to be a ton of items coming throughout the party, so please look out for that. And, yeah. Most of them are new, by the way. Anyway, with all that said, what is your favorite room? What did you guys think of me organizing all the decorations to a specific room to make it seem like we have a bunch of different themes? I think it's really cool. Anyway, with all that said, see you next time. Oh, and that's on October 29th, by the way. We're going to finally doing something with this pumpkin. Painting it. Yep, it's gonna storm. I'm out of here.